Hare Krishna. So, we'll try to read until 8:10, and then at 8:15 the altar will open. So, we are reading Bhagavad Gita chapter 9, verse number 7. We'll read one word at a time. Sarva Bhutani, all created entities. Kaunteya, O son of Kunti. Prakritim, nature. Yanti, enter. Mamikam, my. Kalpakshaya, at the end of the millennium. Puna, again. Tani, all those. Kalpado, in the beginning of the millennium. Vishrajami, create. Aham, I. So now we can read every line in the verse together. Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpado Vishrajamyaham Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpado Vishrajamyaham Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpado Vishrajamyaham. Would anyone like to try? Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpado Vishrajamyaham. Anyone else who would like to read the verse? Sarva Bhutani Kaunteya Prakritim Yanti Mamikam Kalpakshaye Punastani Kalpado Vishrajamyaham. Translation. O son of Kunti, at the end of the millennium, all material manifestations enter into my nature. And at the beginning of another millennium, by my potency, I create them again. Purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami, Srila Prabhupada ki Jai. The creation, maintenance, and annihilation of this material cosmic manifestation are completely dependent on the supreme will of the Personality of Godhead. At the end of the millennium means at the death of Brahma. Brahma lives for 100 years, and his one day is calculated at 4,300,000,000 of our earthly years. His night is of the same duration. His month consists of 30 such days and nights, and his year of 12 months. After 100 such years, when Brahma dies, the devastation or annihilation takes place. This means that the energy manifested by the Supreme Lord is again wound up in himself. Then again, when there is a need to manifest the cosmic world, it is done by His will. Bahushyam. Although I am one, I shall become many. This is the Vedic aphorism, Chandogya Upanishad 6.2.3. He expands himself in this material energy, and the whole cosmic manifestation again takes place. This is pretty straightforward. The Lord is talking about how it's interesting, because many of us, we say that, we control, like, do what you want because life is yours, make your decisions, and live life to the fullest. Well, to some degree that may make sense, but eventually creation, maintenance and annihilation of everything around us is controlled by the Supreme Personality of Godhead. So those who say that, I will, I don't care about the laws of this country, I will drive at 120 miles per hour on a 90-mile highway. Well, for them, they're living in that illusion that there is something that is within my control. And they may ignore the laws of the state, but eventually they will get caught. They will get caught by police, or they might land in an accident. So they'll get caught either by a material government or the spiritual government, which is the laws and rules of this material manifestation. And so that material manifestation here is completely under the control of the Supreme Personality of Godhead. Here, one very interesting thing that is talked about is Brahma, that Brahma has a specific duration. And when we come in that duration of Brahma. So when Brahma is born, he starts chanting prayers to the Lord. With that, he starts hearing and then repeating the Vedas. And out of his meditation, several things come out of his forehead, out of his intelligence. The nature is created. The bodies of man and woman are created. The civilizations, water, all the living, all the Pancha Mahabhutas, the fire, air, water, ether. All of these are created as Brahma is reciting the Vedas and giving shape to the material creation. But think of this, it's saying that Brahma also lives only for 100 years. So he has a limited lifespan, right? Which means that just like us, he is born and he dies. Only thing, his birth and death is not like painful. It is, it happens instantaneously. He appears on the lotus coming from the navel of Mahavishnu, and at the end, at the time of Pralaya, he just vanishes. Whereas for us, we have to go through the process of growth. We have to go through the process of old age. What is interesting is that even Brahma, who lives for such a long period of life, lives for a period of life. He has a birth and he has a death. And that is saying something, because Brahma is the most intelligent personality in our creation. So when we look at the scientists and the philosophers and people who are purporting, various things in today's world and saying, oh, one day, man will go to Mars and, we will colonize all of that. Well, you have to think about what is the meaning of that pursuit it is not going to last, because even the so to say creator of this creation has to die with the creation. And so when he's done, everything is finished. So when we think about the goal of life, we have to think about how tiny we are compared to a creator who will ultimately get destroyed. He himself will not live for long. So it shows us how how tiny we are, and how important it is to understand who is that Supreme Personality of Godhead, who are we, and what is our relationship with Him. So that's why all these yogis, what they are trying to do, they are basically saying, okay, I know I'm small, and I know Krishna is great, so let me try to, if I make a relationship with him, yoga means to connect in Sanskrit. If I make a relationship with Krishna, then I will get a better result than what everybody else is doing. Somebody is trying for a better job, better career, better quality of life, better family life. But these yogis are thinking, I want a high return on my investment. So I want to see who is that Supreme Personality of Godhead and find out what my relationship is with them, and then act on that relationship. And so they do, and but they all have different goals. Karma yogis want, okay, I want to, I want like a very high quality life after this life. I want pious credits. Then the jnana yogis are thinking, oh, I don't want anything material. I want something that is beyond material. And if I make a relationship here, if I meditate on that impersonal form of the Lord, then I'll supersede the material. But bhakti yogis are thinking, actually, I don't want anything from him. Karma yogis want material benefit, higher quality material life. Jnana yogis want liberation from materialism. But bhakti yogis, they don't want any of that. Bhakti yogis want Krishna. Because if you think of it, Krishna is giving the material benefits to a karma yogi. Krishna is also giving the liberation to a jnana yogi. So it's saying the creation, maintenance and annihilation of this material creation is completely dependent on his will. So what a bhakti yogi is thinking, I don't want the things that he can give me, I want him. And that's why the only way you can get him is by love, spiritual love. And that is what we are doing in Bhakti Yoga. That's what we are doing when we are trying to chant Hare Krishna. We are asking him, I want to love you. I want to conquer you. And how I will conquer you? Krishna himself is giving the key of how to conquer him in the end to Arjuna when he says, Sarva Dharman Parityajya. You surrender to me and I will come to you. So Krishna is himself saying, you give yourself to me and I will give myself to you. Just like when you look at the president or the prime minister of a big country, right? When they are on the TV camera, they seem like, oh wow, all the security guards are there around them. They are, so well guarded. How do you meet such people? They will not meet ordinary people. But then when they come home and when they are with their children, the child says, please pick me up on your shoulders, please sit like a horse and I will sit on your back and ride like a horse for me. And over there, the father is like that same president and prime minister who's like the head of such a big army and such a big country. He's sitting on his four, limbs, and he's taking his child around, and the child is kicking him also. Go faster, But and the father is agreeing to that. So similarly, bhakti yogis are thinking, I don't want the powers of Brahma. I don't want a better quality of material life. I don't even want to be aloof from material life. All I want is to love Krishna. And Prahlad Maharaj says how we can love Krishna through the 9 process of bhakti, Navavidha bhakti. Shravanam, Kirtanam, Vishnu Smaranam, Padasevanam, Archanam, Vandanam, Dasyam, Sakhyam, Atmanivedanam. By Shravanam, by hearing about His glories and His holy name. Kirtanam, by doing kirtan in congregation, like we chanted Hare Krishna just now. Vishnu Smaranam, by meditating on the limbs, on the name, the qualities, the form and the pastimes of Krishna, Vishnu Smaranam. Pada Sevanam, by serving the lotus feet of the Supreme Personality of Godhead, which Lakshmi Devi is doing in Vaikuntha. Pada Sevanam. Archanam, deity worship, worshipping the Lord, whether that be in our temples or in our homes or in our hearts. We can always worship the Lord with just our words. That's the beauty of bhakti. Deity worship, archanam. Vandanam, by prayer. When Prahlad Maharaj is getting thrown off the cliff, by Hiranyakashipu's demons who are trying to kill him because he's not listening to his father, Prahlad is not praying, please, save me, I didn't expect this, this is not what, I didn't do anything to deserve this, I'm your devotee, why are you letting this happen to me? Prahlad Maharaj is praying, let me be always remembering you, let me always remember you in prayer. So Prahlad Maharaj is an epitome of prayer. Vandanam, Dasyam, Hanumanji. Hanumanji is ready to fly all the way from Lanka, get his from Kishkinda to Lanka, ready to get his tail burnt just to find Mother Sita because he knows that will please Lord Ram. Dasyam, Sakhyam, be a friend to the Lord. He's asking Arjuna, you are always my dear friend because you are not envious of me, right? And Atmanivedanam, by complete surrender, just like Bali Maharaj, when Krishna came in the form of Vaman Dev and asked Bali Maharaj for 3 steps of land, he then expanded himself and he put one leg on the heavens, 1 leg on the earth. So when Vaman Dev asked, where is my 3rd step? Bali Maharaj said, I give myself to you, so put your 3rd step on my head. So one can see that through the process of through these 9 processes of bhakti, one can get the Lord. So one doesn't need one doesn't need to worry about their material, how to improve their material situation or how to get rid of their material situation. If you control God, then you have everything. You are in one sense bigger than Brahma. Sorry, I went on a different tangent. Does anybody have any questions or thoughts? This is a. It's a long. It's a very. It's a maybe better question for Dravida Prabhu, but my general understanding is that so Brahma is actually a position. So that means Brahma is actually. So when jivas are in this material world, at some point they become Brahma. So at one point in time, we were all Brahmas in different universes. Usually, 95%, don't quote me on that statistic, but most of the Brahmas realize that they are in the material world, and this is not where they want to be, so they want to go back. But it's still a position, right? And in our world, our Brahma has 4 heads. In other worlds, there are Brahmas who have 1 million heads. So it's just a position that different material, living entities take. Many of those Brahmas realize their full potency, that they are servants of Krishna, and they go back to the spiritual world. When it comes to Shiva, this Shiva Tattva is a little complex, but there is Mahadev, who is an energy created by Brahma. There is Rudra, who's an energy created by Brahma for this material world, and when he does his dance of death, that signifies the end of this world, right? But there is Mahadev, who is residing in the spiritual world in Kailash, and he is actually he's not Vishnu, but he's not material also. He's spiritual. And so those who worship Lord Shiva in the mood of, I want to serve Krishna, but under your guidance, they actually get the opportunity to serve in Kailash, the Sadashiva. Sadashiva, he's in the spiritual world. He's not material. He's different from Rudra. Rudra coming from Brahma. So this is just my meager understanding, small understanding. Above Kailash, in the spiritual world, you find the Vaikuntha planets. So there are several planets, and on each planet you'll find Lord Vishnu and his avatars with a variety of devotees. These devotees have different desires. Some want to look like him, some want the same powers as him, some want to just be his associates, So they occupy different posts and positions in Vaikuntha. But in Vaikuntha, most important thing that we all understand is there is a mood of awe and reverence. I respect Lord Vishnu. I surrender to Lord Vishnu and I offer him service in my position. It is not intimate, right? And above these Vaikuntha planets, you have the Goloka planet, where you have Krishna performing his Vrindavan Leela, exclusively his Vrindavan Leela, and there Krishna never leaves. He's eternally 16. That's why everybody, even amongst us, when someone turns 16, we say, happy sweet 16, right? It's because, where's the sweetness coming from? It's because Krishna is eternally there in Vrindavan. He's there as a child in different pastimes simultaneously. He's there as a 5-year-old, Kaumara, as in different pastimes simultaneously. He's eternally there as a 16-year-old, performing his pastime simultaneously. And depending on the mood that we want to serve him in, like if we want to be in the mood of Shanti Ras, we want to be quiet associates, so we'll get the opportunity to be dust particles in Vrindavan, to be grass in Vrindavan, right? To be trees in Vrindavan. And that is glorious. There is nothing lesser or higher over there. Those who want dasyam, they will accept roles of associates of Radharani, associates of the Gopas of Krishna. They'll make the flowers. They will bring the honey nectar. They will hide. There are manjaris who will hide the ankle bells of Srimati Radharani because she has to run in the night to meet Krishna for the Ras Leela. So dasyam, sakhyam, the Gopas, they are only friends of Krishna, so they are associated only in friendship. And in friendship, basically, we can do anything to him. We'll cheat, we'll play a game with him, we'll cheat, and we'll win, and we'll force him to give his lunchbox to us, So that is the relationship that those who desire that can get. And so they are mostly associating with him when he's like 10 years old, 5 years old. Then Sakhyam, then Vatsalya, those who desire to see Krishna as their child, like Yashoda Mai, like Nanda Maharaj. They see Krishna as a small child. Bal Gopal. There is actually a sampradaya, I'm forgetting the name, Sri Vallabhacharya, Pushti Marg, which in Gujarat, Rajasthan, you will see they worship Krishna as Bal Gopal, like a small child holding like a laddu in his hand. So they are worshipping Krishna as a small child. And so finally is Madhurya Ras. And in Madhurya Ras, the gopis of Vrindavan, who are eternally in love with him, they desire to see him as a teenager, and they have that relationship with him. So with that, we'll end the class. Darshan is going to open now. Let's play that. Hare Krishna. Bhagavad Gita ki jai, Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Hare Krishna.